Professor, class, Jones International University, Speech 101, Assignment 8.1. Topic today is why minimum wage should be higher. Informed speaking. You know, my father, he used to have these did you know moments that he would spend with me and my brothers at any time, just like a sit around talking session. And it was just like a time to reflect on things that may have happened in the past or probably would be happening in the future. And it was just more of like a teaching session, like a each one teach one kind of thing. And it was just like a time to get us to step outside of our box and, explore areas that we might not have necessarily known or been comfortable talking about, but it was just a way of getting us, to broaden our horizons. So I guess this is my did you know moment. And did you know that nearly 8 million hardworking Americans go to work every day, yet still live below the poverty line? That is in part because the federal minimum wage is way too low. When I'm finished speaking, I want people to be aware that together we can increase the quality of living for everyone, leading to all states raising their minimum wage, hopefully. If you're like me, you just finished your 40 plus hours of work for the week, 80 plus depending if you're weekly or bi-weekly, and nothing sobers you up more than looking at what you earned after working your tail off. Nothing worse when you don't have the means to take care of the necessities of life. Do I pay my rent or put food on the table? Can I afford daycare so I can go to work? Can I really afford to drive that far to work? How can we achieve the American dream without the means? Everything is going up, so why is minimum wage at a standstill? How do you suppose an individual who works for a minimum wage of $7.50, which is $14,400 a year before taxes are even taken out, how does that person even survive if it will cost an estimated $241,080 for a middle-income couple to raise a child born last year for 18 years, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture? Raising the minimum wage will stop an estimated 28 million Americans from moving back in with their parents. If you could just raise the income to say something that would be reasonable with today's expenses. What about today's women? The number of single mothers steadily increasing. Wouldn't they benefit because they tend to work for lower wages than men in certain locales for some oddball reason? We all have family, right? What if I told you supporting raising the minimum wage is a family-friendly policy? Would you support it? With more family income, some people will choose to do what they want to do. Like get fat on the beach in Florida, go back to school, or have children. Raising the minimum wage would bring an end to wives staring holes through the back of their husbands' heads everywhere. It's time. It's way past time, actually, if you ask me. End turmoil in households everywhere by just raising the minimum wage. Some of us don't have time to wait for hell to freeze over. Working families that earn more could work less hours, have more time to dedicate to raising a family with respectable morals and discipline. We would have more time for community life, and what the hell? You can even throw politics into the situation. Americans would start to reclaim the middle class and bring back the political organizations that they once had, because payroll and income tax revenues would rise, the federal deficit would come down, and Social Security worries would fade. We will all join Will Ferrell in the movie Old School, where he had too much to drink and began streaking because he was happy. When debt is in the rearview mirror, that's what will happen. We will all begin streaking. How do you expect people to spend what they don't have? Having such a low minimum wage is pointing people in the direction of debt, because you're penny pinching, trying to cover all your expenses and have a life at the same time. Raising the minimum wage is good for economic recovery to get the economy back on track. Spending power has to be in the hands of those who actually spend in the real economy. That means regular people, not the super wealthy who tend to hoard about income or invest in financial products created by themselves. The minimum wage story is not just a story about income inequality, but but rather it's about elite that has hijacked the economic system and made it work less productively than before while redistributing more of what is working to themselves. The problem with our economy today is that the growing gap between the real wages and productivity has violated traditional relationships between real wages and consumption. So if the productivity of each worker is rising strongly, yet the worker's capacity to purchase is lagging badly behind, how does economic recovery, which relies on growth and spending, sustain itself? It starts with policies that are more directed towards programs that actually increase the minimum wage and less of this discredited neoliberal trickle-down economics. Trickle-down economics is largely counterproductive because it shifts more resources into the hands of those who have less propensity to spend and keep the economy moving. Unemployment insurance benefits or tax breaks for low and middle income workers would have the positive effects from raising the minimum wages by putting more money in the pockets of working families when they need it most, thereby augmenting their spending power. Economists generally recognize that low-wage workers are liquid money. Liquid money is low-wage workers who are more likely than any other income group to spend any extra earnings immediately on previously unaffordable basic needs and services. So if you wanted to boost the economy, it would make sense to put more money in the people's pockets so they can get out there and spend their hard-earned money, right? That's why we take advantage of Black Fridays and Christmas time and holidays. Imagine if we had more money to spend during those times. Can I let you in on a secret? Can I really share something with you? There are multiple positive effects that would result from a higher minimum wage. It would first boost the earnings of working families hit hardest by the Great Recession. Then it would spur economic growth. And then there's the potential to create about 100,000 net new jobs. In an economic climate in which wages increase for most vulnerable workers are scarce, raising the minimum wage is an opportunity that American working families cannot afford to lose. So I ask you again, without the proper means, how can we live the American dream? How can we take care of our families without the necessities in life? We all work hard for a reason, and that's just so that we can do what we want to do and live the life that we all should be able to live. You shouldn't have to worry about and plan on things that just shouldn't be.